This is a phoenix rising out of the ashes, and to realize that it's not just for us, it's for our kids. It's for future generations as well.
My goal actually is to have more jobs in here than there were when Simpson was in full operation here.
I think it's an absolutely great thing. I think it's going to be great for the community. I think it's going to be a way to help keep this little town vital like it is.
The mill has been a key part of the fabric of Vicksburg, Michigan for over 100 years. It means everything to so many, thousands of employees who've worked here at the mill to save the structure.
The mill was the foundation of the village. Everybody had a relative that worked here, or they worked here. We lived 5 miles out of town, but you heard a 6 o'clock whistle to get up, a 7 o'clock whistle for start a shift, a noon whistle, and a 3 o'clock whistle and a 4 o'clock whistle.
The impact that the mill had on the community was great. It was large. This was what the community centered around. I don't know that the community would be what it has been and is today without the mill here to drive that growth in the past.
Devastating. It was like desolation. It had always been this vibrating, noisy, pulsing, almost a living entity at the center of the village, and suddenly it wasn't.
When you would drive by here, you were reminded every day of what used to be and what was here.
It's an eyesore, to be honest with you, and it shouldn't be. The architecture of the building should be saved and shared with the public and the community. The ponds need help. There's a lot of wildlife here.
All the stories of the village and all the energy of the village ran through here, whether it was United Way campaign or whether it was the employees here out in the community. And the idea now of this being redeveloped and being a center point of the community again, it really is very exciting.
Kalamazoo County was actually the paper capital of the world, so my whole family was paper mills. That history just can't come back.
That time is gone and it's not coming back. So holding on to it thinking we're going to make paper again here is a losing bet for sure. So it needs a new purpose.
The reality is this: the world's changing around us every day, whether we like it or not. Yes, we do live in this community. It's a phenomenal community. There's a lot of richness to the history here, but we also need to move forward as a community.
This is part of history. This is part of where families grew up and families got together, and this is what a community is. And to think that Chris and his group are willing to put forth the time, effort, and energy and the financial resources to make this a new part of the community as opposed to just quote unquote an eyesore is nothing short of a miracle.
I can't wait to see more and more of that happen and to see the beast reawaken.